Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. This is going to be another unboxing video. I received a bunch of packages that I've been collecting to open up. So it's just 3 packages today. And I will open them on the screen so you can see me opening them. I have no idea what some of these are, but I know what one of them is. So it is a book from the Seduction of the Innocent. And I'm going to read the passage that references it. It's a very interesting passage, so I'm going to read that as well. So a little bit extra in this video. So this first one, let's see what it is. It comes with a note. Comes with a little note. Hi, you will always be proud to have such a fantastic sample in your collection you are assembling. It is truly a historical treasure. I know what this is. This is going to be really cool. There's a bit of a story behind this one, if it's what I think it is. And they packaged it. Not the greatest, actually, but because it was just an envelope. But it came flat, so it's safe. But let me just see if I can... I'll take it out. Wow, they double packaged it. It's not that big, I guess. So yeah, it is what I thought it was. So the story behind this one is this is actually a find. And it might be a gem mint copy. I'm not sure. It looks like just maybe like a high grade, but maybe a 9.6 or something like that, I would say. This is a book that was mentioned in the Seduction of the Innocent, and it's about Harry S. Truman. But what happened was the seller found basically a warehouse find and it had basically a flawless version of this. So this is one of the ones that was in the box that they found, and the box hadn't been opened for like 60 years, 70 years, or whatever it was. It was like, this is 1948, I believe. So you know, whatever number of years that is, that's like almost 70 years. So yeah, so pretty major find, and all of them are flawless. And there's actually 2 versions of this. This is what's called the funeral suit version, which is the first print. The second print is with a light blue suit. So yeah, so this is a very rare comic. It just happened that I got it in super high grade, almost mint copy. It's got some waviness down at the bottom here that could be pressed out if I had to. It might be one worthy of getting pressed and graded, because it would be a very high value one, high grade one. Strangely though, I guess they must have printed a lot of these, because the value of these is not that high, even in a high grade like this, considering it's from 1948, I believe. It's not an expensive comic. It's usually around the 200 to 300 range, even in a high grade. So, I mean, if you think about that, for a golden age comic, that's not really super expensive. I paid $160 for it, just to give you a sense of how inexpensive it is. But the reason it was featured in the Seduction of the Innocent was that the writer of the Seduction of the Innocent felt like it wasn't giving accurate version of history, so that's why they featured it, because, like, you know, you don't want to teach children the wrong things in comics. So so that's what this one is. So that was actually, I didn't expect that one, but this is the one I knew, because it actually labels it. It says what it is. And so I know what this comic is going to be, and I actually brought the Seduction of the Innocent with me so that I could read the passage where this is mentioned. This one was well packaged. I love the way this is packaged, because it's really hard cardboard, double layered. And when they do that, I know it's going to arrive safely. And then they use painter's tape, which is also really, really nice. So this one was at least sent properly. I was surprised that they didn't mail the other one a little bit better packaging, because it was, you know, it is a mint copy. Jeez. You'd think they would be a little extra careful. But this one they sent reasonably well. So lots of tape though. So this one is Dagger, the Desert Hawk, number 19. And it features some really nice, I don't know, sort of the good girl art. And this one is kind of notorious in a way. And the reason it's featured in the Seduction of the Innocent, because it features an erotic hanging. And I'll read the passage from the Seduction of the Innocent where that references it, because it's quite interesting. So the way he writes this is the following. If a medical student had to write a paper for his psychopathology class on the varieties of sadistic fantasies and sadistic acts, he could cover a whole field by studying just what's in our children's comics. In the comic book, traditionally full of blood, violence, and nudity, the erotic hanging theme is exploited. The average reader of a generation not brought up on comics may not realize the connection between sex and hanging, with one of the typical perverse fantasies for wishing to hang an undressed girl and watch her struggles. But this has made abundantly clear to children that their daily in their daily reading material matter. Okay. In one story, a man kills for sport. There's a sequence with illustrations of half-nude girls where he makes this comment. Ho ho, what a hangman I make. The police are blundering fools, but I am an artist. My noose will fit around that pretty's neck. In the next picture, the blonde girl, clad in a noose, a bra, and bikini trunks, is hanging from a tree. You see her again hanging in a death struggle. So he basically, one of Wortham's, kind of points or contentions about these comics was that they would kind of feature like very adult themes, like sadistic themes, and they would be portrayed to young kids. And that would make kids become, go around hanging women from trees or something. So he thought that this was a little bit too risque for children, and that he felt like this was teaching kids perversions of sex. So very interesting. And that's why this comic is kind of notorious, because of that panel where they feature a half-naked woman hanging, and in an erotic way as well. So that's that one. Now we just have one more box. This is a big one. And this is actually just one book, but it's a very big book. And I have to kind of explain this book a bit, because it's actually very, very cool for many reasons. Awkward to open, but so this is Bruce Timm. If you're familiar with Bruce Timm, he basically was the one that created Harley Quinn, and he was the one that did the artwork for the animated series of Batman. But as well, he would create a lot of good girl art. He was kind of famous for creating these very interesting artistic kind of style of good girl art. So he came out with this is a very rare book. This is the first print of it. See, it's a really big book. You can see how thick the book is itself. He came out with this book where he featured his good girl art. And there's some nudes, there's various levels of, you know, art in it. But it's a really cool book because, you know, it features some really great art. And it's a very pricey book. It is one of those books that's really rare and really expensive. Even this one is not even on a high grade, and it was a couple $100. So that, if that gives you a sense of, and it's not that old of a book even. It's just that it's a highly sought book, especially by people that collect Bruce Timm. And it's one that is just really rare. They didn't print many. I think maybe a few hundred copies. It wasn't like a massive print run or anything. And it's a huge book. It's just, and it features a lot of good girl art. And it's really hard to get out of all this packaging. So, there we go. Wow. So you can see, you know, some Naughty and Nice is the name of the book. And it's like the good girl art from Bruce Timm. So, as I said, Bruce Timm is famous for the Batman Adventures cartoon. And he is, you know, famous for Harley Quinn. And this was his kind of art portfolio of good girl art. So let me see if I can show you some. So yeah, look, actually has some of the good girl art with Harley Quinn. There's Harley. And Catwoman on the other side. So just a lot of, you know, good girl art. And some more Harley Quinn. So I gotta kind of show that. So just a really great portfolio. This is very cool, like a nudity. I'm trying to keep the nudity on my channel to a minimum. So yeah, so some good girl art there. And it's just, I think Bruce Timm is just a brilliant artist. So this is like a, you know, just like a little portfolio. Very, oh wait a sec. I gotta find a non-nude. There's lots of nudes in here. Okay, so maybe some kind of Frankenstein-like one. Frankenstein's monster, the Lady Frankenstein. So yeah. And what else is there? Oh, some, whoops, no, I can't show that one. There's like so much nudity that I don't really want to show on my channel. Sorry, to keep it PG. But yeah, so, you know, I really like Bruce Timm's style. And this is just a really great comic, or book, I should say. Lots of cool art. So I recommend, if you have the money, try to pick this up, because it's just, if you really like good girl art, this is probably one of the best portfolios of good girl art out there. And it's just a really cool magazine, comic book, or book with comics, I don't know. So with that being said, this is the end of my video. Thanks for watching, and please check out my other videos. I have lots of unboxing videos. I have lots of, you know, really cool information on my channel, and you know, there's hundreds of videos that I put out now, and I'm sure there's something there that you'll find interesting. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, because I'm really trying to build my subscriptions. I'm trying to get to that 1,000 mark so that I can finally monetize this channel and, you know, maybe, you know, justify my spending. Yeah, I just hope that people enjoy this content. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.